It's showtime. What's up, everybody? This is Richard Rivera, your favorite contractor from 360 General Contractors. Today it's a Q&A session from questions I got from social media. So I'm just gonna go over some of the questions. Actually, I got 7, so I'm gonna start off with the first one. Is it true that no project ever goes exactly as planned? Yes, that is true. I have never had a project that goes as planned. And it's pretty common to have unexpected stuff on a daily basis. It's all how you handle it and how you prepare yourself. So if you don't prepare yourself on a weekly basis by doing weekly meetings, bi-weekly meetings, coordinating with the owners, coordinating with the subcontractors, coordinating with the architects and the engineers, sometimes we'll have rain delays. Sometimes we're working outside, we can't move forward because we'll get wet or we can't work. It's a safety issue. So another delay that we normally have, it's material delays. Sometimes we order stuff and something happens, a shipment gets misdirected, or the vendor that sold us the shipment didn't put the order in. Our shipment got sent to somebody else, and it's little knick-knack like that throws everybody off and doesn't help in finishing the project on time. For question number 2, what is the most common mistake you see in a commercial build? Communication with the architect, the owner, and the people that are going to be working in the facility. Since the engineers are subcontracted by the architect, sometimes the communication by the time it gets back to them is not relayed in the correct manner. Sometimes the plans don't match, and those are things that happen. And the only way you're able to resolve that is having somebody competent that's able to distinguish the discrepancy between the construction documents from the architect and the MEPs. So that's why you use 360 General Contractors. We know what we're doing. So next question. What is a common misconception people have about commercial construction? So commercial construction is way different than residential. There are higher standards when it comes to commercial construction. We have to follow many rules, basically from the fire department, which is their fire sprinklers, smoke detectors, fire alarm. That's implemented by the city, and it all changes depending on the size of the building, the type of building, if it's a public, square footage. So there's a lot of ins and outs that you need to learn when you're doing this, and also being able to understand the ADA. So ADA is the American Disability Act, and what that means that any commercial project has to be accessible for handicap. When you don't understand all those concepts and you just start building and then just start adding stuff to a project, when you get that inspection that is required by law, they'll make you tear up. If a ramp is not the degrees it needs to be, if the grab bars are not at a certain height in the restrooms, if the mirrors, we also have like the paper towels need to be a certain distance. They can't be projected over 4 inches from a wall or they're recessed. Instead of wood framing, it's a standard where we use metal framing. There's multiple things, and I can just keep going on and on. But yeah, commercial construction, it has higher standards than residential. Going on to the next one. How do you handle unexpected delays during a project? I guess the unexpected, it goes back to question number 1. So normally, let's say we ordered an RTU. So an RTU is a rooftop unit and doesn't get sent on time. So for some reason, it's gonna take an extra month. So I'll go back to my subcontractor and get an email or a letter from the vendor stating that for X reason, we can't send it out. I have to document it and send proof to the owner. So I always need backup from their vendor in order for me to prove to my client that it's a legitimate reason for it being delayed. Next question. What advice would you give to someone starting a commercial construction business? First off, you have to have been able to work in commercial construction, because if you hire a contractor that has very minimal experience or has never done a job and you go with the cheapest one, it's gonna cost you more expensive at the end, because now you're gonna have to pay to fix all the stuff that they did wrong, and sometimes they'll leave the job hanging and won't come back. That's why you gotta check somebody that's been in the business for a while and that they understand and they're able to give you advice and guide you to do the right decisions. So that is very crucial when you're hiring a subcontractor or a contractor, which you can hire me, 360 General Contractors. All right, guys, so we skipped question number 3. How do you help clients stay within budget without giving up quality? Finished materials are the ones that grab up the cost, and also like the technology. So there are some things you can't give up. It's depending whatever you're building, because I work with architects that are able to give fantastic project once it's done with minimal cost using lower cost materials. That being said, some architects will ask for a tile that costs $750, $850. Some tiles cost even up to $20 a square foot. I can find one that's in the $3 range for $350. That's already 70% off the price. The other thing that also is very expensive is ceiling tile. We have like the basic ones, and then they start going up in grade. So some of those boxes, some boxes cost $60, and then we have some boxes that are $300, $400. All right, guys, so last question I got. What sets 360 General Contractors apart from the other firms? I'm fairly still a new business. My business started a little bit over 3 years ago. The good thing about my business or my company is the people that back me up. I have very smart people that work with me. I also been doing this business for many, many years, and I've got trained from one of the best. I came from a company that started off with a $1 million bonding, and now they're doing over $60-70 million bond, and it was my pleasure working with them and growing with them. They gave me their top projects. I've done $15-20 million projects, and it was just an amazing experience being able to work with these people and grow with them and bring that knowledge with me. And I could never repay them enough and be thankful to my previous employer for all the experience I gained in the field. And it was just amazing project after project. Even though my company is still small and growing, I have my bonding, all my insurances, and I know what I'm doing. And not say that I'm bragging, but since I've been doing this for a while, I'm able to see issues in the future that some other people can't see. Because when they're doing a building, sometimes they'll forget stuff, and I can, by looking at it, hey, but you're missing this. It costs more money time and money to tear down stuff and redo it. So I like checking everything very diligently and going over the stuff with the client and make sure that what the product they want and their vision is what they're getting. Now, sometimes there's stuff that it might be out of the scope of what you're needing, but I can guide you in the right direction in making sure that you're code compliant, ADA compliant, making sure you use the right materials, the right processes, the right sequences in getting done. So really blessed with getting all this knowledge in my past 15 years working with the previous employer. So I'm able to bring that to the table. That being said, thank you guys for staying and watching this video. Please support us. Don't forget to like and follow. And as always, your friendly contractor. Stay blessed, my friends.